Good morning and welcome to the Greenfield Public Schools Executive Subcommittee meeting of October 8th, 2025. It's 8:05 a.m. Elizabeth Teneve, are you here?
Yes.
Stacy Sexton, are you here?
Yes.
And I, Glenn Johnson-Musad, am here, so we have a quorum. And I'm assuming nobody is recording other than the Zoom recording. Okay, great. First item of business is approving our meeting minutes.
Still moved.
July 2nd, 2025. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Stacy made one.
So moved.
Oh, okay. Motion from Sexton,
Second.
from Deneve. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, the minutes pass unanimously. Then our one other agenda, discuss school committee and city council relations. On tonight's agenda, we have basically two items related to this. Where is it? Are we sending someone to the October City Council meeting, and what are we asking them to do? And then report from Executive Committee on medium and long range strategy, request for feedback from full committee. I thought we could actually maybe use this meeting to come think of a proposal for both items for tonight. So, or at least a proposal for the October City Council meeting, and then start the discussion about medium and long range goals. So, what do people want? What do we want to send anybody to the October City Council meeting?
Have they asked or said anything?
I think we have a standing invitation.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be on their agenda. I guess I have I guess I was thinking about it seems like people on the committee in general like the opportunity to have a venue for some visibility for the schools.
Mm-hmm.
My concerns are mainly about protecting staff time and protecting staff from Michigas, I guess. Michigas seems to have declined a little bit recently, but to me, it does not seem like a great use of our superintendent's time to send him to this meeting to make some anodyne updates about the schools and then have them ask him questions that they have not asked in advance and he hasn't had a chance to prepare for. And also, I guess I've made this clear before, like, I don't like the feeling that it's some kind of reach around oversight role that they think they have. We're responsible for supervising the superintendent, and we get chances to ask the superintendent all kinds of hard questions the second Wednesday of every month. That's what we were elected to do. So I'd really like to I could imagine the superintendent preparing either a written report or a video address that could be played, but I don't really want to make the superintendent attend an in-person meeting for that purpose. And I feel like not only is it not great for our current interim superintendent, but we're also broadcasting to, in a very difficult hiring environment, that a superintendent who comes to Greenfield Public Schools has not one tough public evening oversight meeting a month, but two, basically one big one and one small one with the city council. And I don't really like broadcasting that. So for that reason, I would like to, I think I would, if it was just me tonight, I would probably propose that we send a school committee member and that we ask the superintendent to either write a written report to the city, report to the city council, or prepare a video, recorded video or something. Or not send anything from the superintendent at all. Councilmember Deneve?
I feel like this is a really tough one because we need to create a good relationship with the city council and we want to do work with them in the future that will benefit, us and them and the constituents. But I feel like there needs to be some communication with them about how they want to do this and what they need. Because I agree that just going there and being subject to all kinds of questions and taking time is not a great use of our time. I mean, we're not paid. So,
Yeah.
like, also, I don't want us to have to go and do this. But also at the same time, I understand that we're all part of this interconnected organism that is the city. So I feel like we need to set some parameters about what needs to happen. Like if they need to have a report from us, they need to request one maybe. Or my initial idea was just sending them our minutes or whatever, or sending them a link to the meeting and being like, this is what happened. Do you want to receive more information on this? You have like 48 hours or whatever to gather your questions and send them to us. And then if you need us present, we'll come to answer specific questions that you have asked. And then only those questions. Because I know that they'll feel really frustrated if they're kept out of the loop, and I understand that. But also they could watch the meetings and submit questions. So I feel like I don't want to do their work for them sort of like ahead of time. But at the same time, I understand that they are expecting to hear from department heads whenever they need to. But having a standing thing every month, if we're gonna do that, we need a process that we abide by and they abide by, I think, so that people don't feel taken advantage of or waste their time. And after the presentation is given, should we choose to have a presentation for them or, report, I certainly would like them to be kind about people's time and allow them to leave the meeting, because in the past they've said things like, after the report, they just left. It's like, well, why would we stay for a 4-hour meeting that doesn't, involve our department? So I think that there's still some conversation to be had about how this goes down regularly.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of those questions do need to be resolved, and that's probably a medium and long-term range discussion. And I guess it does seem like there's this kind of implication that if we don't attend, if we don't show up at all, that they're offended, on some level. and we're trying to maintain that relationship. So maybe we can sort this out with them. I mean, I don't really like the implication that we're somehow like just another department, like we're a school district. It's different from being like the recreation committee or the board of health or the the public works department. Those are all supervised by in a different way. Like this has been elected representatives have been, we've been elected to supervise the school district. They have not been. They do have a role with financial oversight and giving us a number for our budget, but so I guess in the short term, because we'll have the meeting tonight, and then I think is it by Friday, Roland, that we need to give them agenda item? We need to tell them what our plans are. So yeah, Stacy.
I might recommend in the short term, as in what are we going to do for next week, that we appoint someone to go. And I do think that our members were also excited about potentially giving everyone an opportunity to see what it's like in the hot seat. But I think that it could make sense to have someone go and talk about the superintendent search process, because we will be coming to many decisions tonight that we could report on, and that is something that does involve and affect the whole community. And so that just might be like one thing that we could talk about that I think is relevant. In terms of like this broader question of What does our relationship look like, and how do we set up processes that make sense for all involved and that meet all of our needs without unduly burdening any of us? I really think that it like uh, I feel like they need to also come to the table to express to us like what would, because I still don't have an understanding of where this sort of edict originally came from and what its purpose was. Clearly, it's no longer working for, I think, all of us involved to accomplish whatever its mission was. Um, but if there's something else, some other way that we can maintain relationship without there seeming like there's this um like an opportunity essentially for interrogation. Um, I'd like to
Yeah,
avoid that if possible, but I think that it like we can talk, as much as we would like over here, but I would like for the other party to be present at the table to help devise solutions.
okay, so I guess here's where my mind is going. What if we, as the executive subcommittee, put forward a proposal tonight that for the October meeting, we designate someone, and I don't think we have to go into the meeting knowing who that person is, to report on the superintendent search, that we're specifically proposing that the superintendent not attend next week's meeting. And that maybe I mean, I really think that um, we're going to have a new chair in January. What if and I guess maybe we would just suggest that the chair, that in January, the chair and the city council president begin discussions about about getting the relationship back on track and figuring out a plan to do that.
Um, sorry, are we doing strict Robert's rules?
No.
Okay. My worry is that that will make this year's budget season like that puts off the relationship building too much and makes this
Mhm.
vulnerable to similar forces that occurred last year.
Okay. Remember, Denise?
Um, I have to agree with Stacy on this and about forces. But you know, I think it's a really good move and says a lot of positive things about us if we invite the city council president and anybody else maybe that she would like to come and have a meeting with us in the next month or so, with the goal of bringing ideas to the table about how she would like the relationship to be going forward, what in terms of meetings. We had a lot of drama trying to even have a meeting with them on September 15th, like a lot of drama, as you know. And I think that really says a lot about loopholes in the system, lack of communication, just generally not all being on the same page. And yet, one thing that I learned at that meeting was that the city council regularly has meetings with everybody else and actually has a procedure for how to do this, but have never initiated a meeting with us. So
What do you
they
mean?
call in all of their departments and have specific procedures for how to post those meetings and how to get together. They have meetings with the Human Rights Commission or the Public Safety Commission. They all do this together, but they've never approached us. So I think it's kind of a really strong move to send the invite out and to let them come on in and show us what they would like as a way to have them step up to the table, because I don't think that they'll do that unless we invite them.
Do you want them to come to a full school committee, or do you want them to come to an executive subcommittee?
I think we should have an executive subcommittee and work it out and make a plan for how we think it should go. And then the president could take that to the full council, and we could take it to the full committee maybe in December. If we meet in November, we could bring it in December, and then we could sort of enshrine it as what our procedure is going forward. And then we'll be set in January for the new chair for like, this is what we're doing. And that way, if it's in writing, if they get weird and violated, or we get weird and violated, like there's something in place that says, we didn't do the relationship. We're creating a special relationship, sort of.
Yeah. Great. So I guess, would we want to invite, I guess I could reach out to Laura and see whom she would like to invite to the executive subcommittee in addition to herself, whether that's just the vice president or, and I think the only other structure they have are the chairs meetings, which are quite large, because it's the chair of all the different city council committees. But I could approach her and find out whether she's open to that, and if so, who she would like to have join her.
Mhm.
Okay.
That sounds great. Thanks, Glenn.
So then the proposal that we're maybe gonna endorse tonight is that we send a school committee member to report on the superintendent search process, and not the superintendent to the October City Council meeting, and that we are wanting to initiate discussions with the president by inviting her and her guests to an executive subcommittee meeting to talk about our goals for our relationship.
Mhm. I have kind of a weird question. Other than the mayor, is there anybody else that comes and gives monthly reports to the city council?
I don't think anyone else is on there as a standing person. Oh, Roland?
Yeah, I can add a little insight, seeing I've gone to a few. I don't believe a regular standing like we would do, or the school committee has and superintendent have done. They do rotate, I believe. They're different department heads through. So don't quote me on the frequency, but let's say once a year, the recreation department person shows up, then the DPW shows up the next month, and then, the police chief, then the fire chief. So I think it's a rotation basis for updates like that. That's what I've noticed so far in the few months.
Okay, they're not coming just to talk about particular issues where they have something that needs city council attention. They're on an actual schedule of.
It appears that they've had different, well, each one that I've gone to now, which has been 3 or 4, have been a different department head each time, barring obviously something special that would show up where somebody would have to show up to deal with a particular issue.
Yeah. Okay.
Roland, have you seen this practice in other places that you've been? Where are you going to? You were in Munson, right?
Just like, yes.
So did you have to go to the city council meetings there?
No, not regularly. We did a tri-board there, which was the select board, finance committee, and school committee that met 2 times a year there to really talk about budget issues. And other places and other superintendents that I know of and places that I've been to do not and have not, I'm not aware of any that have regularly gone to select board or city council meetings. They have gone occasionally, once or twice a year, budget, special projects, if you're doing building, construction, things like that, obviously where you would need to do it, but not standing.
I'm gonna take a minute and just write up this as a motion so we can say this is what the executive committee has formally endorsed, if that's okay. So just give me a second to do some draft. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
I'm really curious who set this precedent in the past. Somebody must have been just fine doing this, and it just sort of happened and never got changed. I wonder who that was and what the purpose was.
I just wanted to note for folks that I will be on Zoom tonight for the meeting. I don't know if you can tell, but I am I am not feeling well, and I don't know if I'm pretty sure I'm not contagious, but I'd rather not take that chance.
Feel better.
Thanks.
All right. So mm, okay, I got two motions for you. All right. So I'd like to hear a motion that the executive committee recommend that the full school committee assign a member to present an update on the superintendent search process to the city council at their October meeting and to respond to any related questions on behalf of the committee.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye, it's unanimous. Okay. Now, I'd like to hear a motion that the executive committee recommend that the full school committee endorse inviting the city council president, along with any guests they wish to bring, to attend an coming executive subcommittee meeting to discuss strengthening the relationship between the school committee and city council and to explore shared expectations for collaboration and communication at city council meetings.
So moved.
Is
second.
there a second? Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you both so much. That was great. And thank you, Roland. Great. Well, with that, then I think that concludes our agenda for today, unless anyone else has anything else about on this topic they want to discuss.
Oh, I'm sorry. From our last meeting, I wrote up the what does the chair do for the handbook. I've just been very busy since forever. So I'm gonna bring that in November, but I haven't forgotten.
Oh, okay. Great. Thank you. All right. And I noticed in the minutes that we'd agreed to put goals on the agenda for tonight, but I don't think we did. I don't think any of us remembered. The minutes came in a little late this time. So we'll see if that comes up, but we may have to push that. Seems like we have plenty of goals we're working on currently, so. All right, I'd hear a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there-
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned at 8:30 a.m.